how are you doing today? I know a lot of things are going on. People are busy. People need to do things. So for today, I just want to talk to you about feeling stuck, because this is something that we experience, feeling stuck inside or feeling trapped. So what is it really? This is very common, and it is when you feel that you cannot get your own way, you struggle. There are different factors that contribute to this. So one of the factors is you feel that you lack control. You feel that if you do anything, probably it will not be successful or you will get in trouble. So then you have no motivation to push yourself to take control of what you can do. You have the abilities, yes, but there are factors that contribute to you lacking that control. It could be due to past trauma or past failures, and the way our society has made it that when you fail at something, it's really, really bad. But failure gives us an opportunity for learning. So it's for us to start changing the way we interpret failure and also trauma. Yes, trauma happens to us at that time when the trauma is going on. It's not nice. But then if you look at it afterwards, focus on the positive. There might be very few positives, but there will always be positives. Focus on the positive and think of the lessons that you can learn from those traumas, because in life, it's all about learning and growing. But if you experience a trauma and you are running away from that trauma, it will always be coming back in different forms. Even if it doesn't come in different form, you will be reliving that experience constantly in your mind. And because your mind does not know whether it is real or imagined, you will still feel those sensations that you experienced when that trauma was going on. Another factor is comparison. We like to compare with other people. It could be due to the expectations that we place on ourselves or our community places on us, or what other people place on us, but we like to compare. Sometimes we just want to compare to have that feel-good factor. Sometimes it is very, very destructive because it can lead to jealousy, envy. Then you feel that, I give up because I can't get to the way that person is. But just remember, you can be the best version of yourself, and you will never be the best version of another person. If you copy some other person, you will just be their carbon copy. So focus on yourself to be the best version of yourself. Another factor that can influence one to feel stuck is that we feel comfortable with our situation. We call it the comfort zone, because you know that, for example, you wake up in the morning, you have food, you have breakfast, you have lunch, you have supper, you have live under a roof. You just make yourself comfortable, because if you want to, again, compare to other people, they're really struggling. But then you don't even think of growth for yourself. And because you feel comfortable, because your basic needs are being met, you become lazy. You are not motivated to do anything to grow and develop as a human being, as a person, because you've got lots of talents, lots of abilities within you. And the last one I'll talk about is the negative thought processes. Because of negative experiences that we go through, we just tend to focus on the negative thoughts. Because of our survival pattern, we focus on the negative thoughts or the negative experiences. And that one really, really changes our reality, because when we look at something, first we go for the wrong thing. What will go wrong? We'll just start thinking in that direction. Whereas we can see even a challenging situation and we think, oh, what good can come out from that challenging situation? So it's just a matter of being aware and changing that way of thinking. So then there are some words that we use that could be common for different groups of people, but to the layman, it doesn't make any sense. So to break down what feeling stuck means, I will talk about some behaviors. You might identify such behaviors within yourself or someone close to you or someone you know, and you might start thinking, it doesn't mean that seeing one of these behaviors, you need to give a conclusion. So feeling stuck can manifest either in your behavior or in your emotion. For instance, you might start blaming other people. You will blame other people because you don't feel confident enough to take the responsibility, because it is easy to blame other people. When blaming other people, you shift that responsibility to them and not you. So that one might show that you are feeling stuck and you don't feel capable enough to take upon that challenge or that responsibility. Another behavior might be overthinking. You think about things, the smallest thing, because you don't want to make mistakes. You want things to be perfect. You don't want to keep openings, but then you want to control things that are outside of you. And then it creates more problem because you can only control things within yourself. For instance, if say you want somebody to do something and that person refuses, and you stand behind them and say, you must do it, you must do it, it is highly likely that that person might do it for the sake of respect, or the person might refuse to do it. In the case where the person refuses to do it, there's not much you can do because that person has their own way of thinking. They might want to do it later, but then if you want to keep pushing, that person might easily get upset and maybe refuse to do that thing entirely. So you realize that you don't have control over that, what decision the other person makes, but you can influence the decision that the other person makes. Probably your approach to talk to them about what they can do can help them to do what you really want them to do. So just be mindful of the things that trigger you to be overthinking and wanting to control other people. Another behavior is that you doubt yourself. Things that you used to do, it might come to a point where you feel stuck and you think that, oh no, I can't do this anymore. Or if I do this, I might fail. Or I might, so you start doubting yourself, but deep down, you know you can do it, but because of negative or past experiences, you start doubting yourself. Should I not? Can I not? Will I not? So that doubt comes in, and then it really affects the way you carry on with your day-to-day activities. Another behavior is you start isolating yourself and you withdraw from people. Even on a daily basis, you might want to stay indoors. Probably if you are someone who has children, you might just go to school from your house to your school to drop the children, come back home. And if you are working, you just go to work, come back. You will avoid socializing. You will avoid going out of the house to meet people. So you just be withdrawn, even like friends or family members that you used to get along with, you will prefer to be by yourself. And when you stay by yourself that way, being isolated and withdrawn, a lot of things are going on in your head because sometimes isolation and overthinking links in with overthinking, which is not good for your mental and emotional health. And you might be ignoring your personal growth. As human beings, we are here on earth to grow because we need to be solving some problems. And this comes through personal development, learning, because we learn about ourselves. I just think that one of the reasons or one of the things that we do or we are required to do in this earth is to learn about ourselves, because everything around us is about ourselves. If you look at it critically, anything that you learn, there's some aspect that you learn about yourself. So these are just a few behaviors that can show that someone is stopped. There are ways that you can unstuck yourself, or you can take some actions that you will not feel stuck. For instance, let go of the past. This is something people like to stick on to the past. Let's say you experience trauma and you keep on thinking about that trauma. Like I said before, your mind doesn't know whether it is happening now or it is just imagined. So you will experience the same emotions that you felt when that trauma was taking place. But if you reframe, so then what is reframing? You change the way you think about that negative experience or that trauma. Just let it go. Accept it. When you accept, it doesn't mean that you are saying that it was meant to happen. Yes, it happened. And at that time, you dealt with it the best you could. You were not successful, but you dealt with it the way you could. Because if that were to happen now, there's higher chances that you will respond to it in a very different way. So just let go of the past. It's easier said than done, but it's practice bit by bit. Take simple, short steps. Because if you want to just say, okay, today I'll forget, or today I'll let go, it doesn't happen that way. You have to do, and it will be over time. So you need to be patient with yourself. If you want to make these changes, start by taking small steps. Let's say you feel anxious and you have not been going out of your house. You cannot just wake up one day and you say, you know what, I'm going to the shopping center today. Already, that one will show that you will fail. And if you fail, then it will just reinforce the fact that you cannot go out. But if you start by saying, okay, today I'll wake up in the morning, put on my clothes, and maybe open the door and step out of the door. That's a massive big step. And then the next day, you might go down the road. And then the following day, you might call a friend or someone in your local area and say, please, can you go with me? And you go to the shopping center. And then that practice, bit by bit, they're just small steps. It can get to the extent where you feel comfortable that you can go to the shopping center on your own. Or you might still go with someone and say, please, just stand from a distance, but let me go and be shopping while you just watch me in case I start to panic. Just come in. That one, the back of your head will give you that support. And then when you continue, you build up that confidence, and then you will be able to go to the shopping center on your own. So it's just putting in place practical, simple steps. To someone, it might be simple, but to another person, it is massive. So you just need to consider, so that even if you want to support someone, understand that it might be very difficult for them. Another factor that you can help yourself to get unstuck is practice being hopeful. A lot of people have just given up hope. They just think that there's nothing they can do. Life is just a mess and nothing. If you have a glimpse of hope, stick onto it. Because no matter how tiny that glimpse of hope is, it will take you somewhere. Because when you stick onto hope, again, it goes back to the mind. Whatever you feed your mind, it will grow, because the mind is very, very creative. And because the mind does not differentiate what is good and what is bad, any information that you feed the mind, it will grow. So imagine if you feed your mind with, oh, I'm not good enough. What happens is the mind will look for the things that will make you not feel enough. But if you say, you know what, I am going to succeed, I'm a success, I'm successful. What your mind will do is it will look for creative things, give you that opportunity, give you that way of thinking, or ideas will just come into your head that you can be successful, you can do this, you can do that. So any information that you give your mind, it just takes it, it takes it. And when you take it repeatedly, it goes into your subconscious mind. And our consciousness, like myself and you are awake, it is controlled by 95% of the subconscious mind. So if you want to make any changes, it needs to go down to the subconscious mind. And to easily get access to the subconscious mind, there's a state, the alpha state, and that is when you are about to fall asleep and falling asleep, or the other way around, you're about to wake up and waking up. There's a short window that any information that goes into your mind at that time, it will go straight into the subconscious mind. So if you want to change your way of thinking, is for you to be very conscious, repeat it over and over and over to yourself, and get into your mind and your subconscious mind. The last one I'll talk about is seek help. There's much help up there. There's much help out there. You can seek help from a trusted friend, because if you are struggling, say you are feeling stuck, and then you tell someone who laughs at you, it'll make things worse for you. So speak to someone whom you trust. If you have a supportive network, speak to them. If you have family members whom you think they will understand you and support you, speak to them. You might want to get help from a professional. That could be a mental health professional, a life coach, a therapist, or a counselor. But the thing is, get help from someone who can help you, because just talking about your struggles will give you a new perspective, because mostly when you're feeling stuck, you keep going, having the overthinking, it's just in your head. And then it's just the same thing going round and round. But once you talk to someone who is willing to listen, as the words go out, it gives you a different way of thinking, because the mind gets cleared, and then you start changing the way you are understanding your situation. Because it's like when your voice goes out, it makes some clearance in your mind. And then when you hear your voice, it's different. So then it gives you that opening to think alternatively or think creatively on how to improve on your situation. So I am here. If you want to find out more, get in contact with me, send me a message, and I'll get back to you. I am Nelly Kwasumi, transformational life coach. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye-bye.